Hello and welcome to this week's live craft and chat, where we craft and chat live. In my cup today, I have some T2. It's T2 licorice legs. It's still quite hot. It's still quite hot in the cup. Let's not burn my face off. I hope you can hear me. You can see me. You guys know the drill. So many of you already in the chat. Lots of channel members here bright and early. So good to see you all. I'm just having a quick squiz through, just double checking I did it. Good morning to everybody. Claire can't make it today. She is painting boxes for Share the Dignity. I love that charity. I think it's amazing. Good morning to Ruth Young. How are you going? Bob Curran, Angela, Kathy. How are you all going? So, I've had a week. I've been interviewing all the sponsors for the Big Wool Show. So if you would like to watch those interviews, they're just about all up over there. The last one drops tomorrow. So you can go and check those out at the Big Wool Show. Having some great conversations with some phenomenal yarn and fiber craft businesses. It's fantastic. It's all good here. Awesome. That is good. Knitspin Girl says you can see and hear. So that is awesome. I can't ask for much more, really, can I? So I've been doing all of these live interviews, and I've been doing some other bits and bobs while I am, working. Like, there's work to do, really, is what it comes down to. I've been getting the final orders out. Well, not the final orders, but I was waiting on a couple of shipments from suppliers that had been ordered sort of just before the big announcement of I'm not ordering any more stock, and they've finally come in. So those orders all got shipped out yesterday. And so I was able to do just a little sneak, like not much, but there was a couple of extras. So they've been added to the website. So if there was something that you wanted that you missed out on, maybe go and have a look and see if it's back in again. So a bit of Clover stuff and a bit of Chagoo, but not much. There's like really not much. Okay, don't get your hopes up too high. Maybe just a smidge. So Leanne has said it's so exciting. The Big Wool Show weekend is coming up so quickly. I know, right? It's the weekend after next. Or is it next? It's next weekend. It's not this weekend coming. It's the one. Oh, geez, that's a week less time than I thought I had. So I should probably keep going. Kathy says I've been doing a great job with the interviews. Thank you, Kathy. Ruth says they are planning on reopening my store on Friday. Oh boy, chaos will happen. Yeah. Freaky says that I agree the interviews are great, but I have to say that closed caption thing needs to clean its fake ears some. A lot of it comes down to the Australian accent, honestly, and we do speak a little bit quickly and it doesn't quite pick up some of the words. So yeah, there is some times where it is not awesome. Yeah, definitely. Linda Dying Dream, you are a stall holder at the Big Wool Show. So much stuff left to do. Yeah, so much stuff to do. I completely agree with you. Game Widows is also a stall holder. So much to make, not enough time before the Big Wool Show. Absolutely. Now, I have been, because I've been doing all this stuff and I've been trying to keep really focused and just sort of reserve energy and, I'm just trying to do the right thing, right? So this week I've done a lot more work on my queen because I have made sure that I am looking after myself. So I'm making sure I'm having sitting breaks, getting away from this screen and these lights, because it is quite intense on my, because there's a light there, a light there, a light there, and lights behind me. And actually there should be another light here, but I haven't turned it on. So hopefully it's not too gloomy and dark. And so, it's quite intense on your eyes. So I've been making sure I've been going out in the lounge room. I've been watching some TV, but I've been taking my queen with me. So I am up to the third last row. So I'm pretty happy. This morning, while I was having my breakfast, I was like, "Oh, what should I watch while I'm having breakfast?" I didn't really feel like news today. So I actually watched the video, um, yeah, I watched the video on, Tina's video on how to do the border. So I'm like, I'm not quite ready for it yet, but I just thought I will, definitely be able to do. There are 4 lights. What do you mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, I'll turn this one on. 6. That's a little bit bright. I turn it down. No, that was me. That was me, Mr. Lou. Yeah, so I'm getting to be near the end. Louis is just sitting right here and Abby's moving around. Abby has her last exam today. So that's also quite exciting. I'm hang on, you need to sit down and be quiet, mister. Oi, it's just Abby, or is it Tibbles? Tibbles could be at the door as well, the cat. Louis and the cat are like, I don't know how to describe it. They're like the 2 grumpy old men that will be in, um, that it'll be in like rocking chairs in their old age, like whinging at each other constantly. I can just imagine Louis and Tibbles being there. Oh, it's a Star Trek reference. I'm sorry, I'm not quite awake yet. Which is it, a movie or is it a TV series one? There are 4 lights. Oh, it is. I know which one it is. It's when he's being interrogated and they keep trying to make him lie about how many lights there are. I know it. I know it. Yes, John Waldorf and Stadler. It's Louis and Tibbles. Absolutely. I knew which episode it was. I knew. I knew. I just need to think about it. Um, Great idea to get yourself prepared a little bit for the double border. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I was just definitely just trying to sort of think about where I'm up to and what I'm doing and what my plan's going to be because I do have limited purple left. I mean, it's a lot, right? I did have to crack open the second ball to a couple of rows back. Um, and my concern is that there won't be enough to do the full border. So what I'm thinking, and if you guys in the chat, I'm going to put up a little poll. Um, Hang on. Hang on. I screwed it up. I've got to hang on a second. I can't type. It turns out I really just can't type. Okay. All right. There we go. Poll is in the YouTube chat there. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it shortly. So the question is for the border. Oh, can I edit that? Seriously. No, all I can do is end it. All right, I know there's a typo. Okay. Okay. So for the border, I don't know if I'll have enough to do all purple for the double border, right? So what I'm thinking is doing purple at the front, so you still got the beautiful frame, but on the back, I want to use up all like, the bits. And if I can do like a section like along the top in one color for each row and then along the side at least for the I mean, I've got a lot of scraps to use up, guys, so it might not be enough to do an entire long side, especially the long side. But I'd like to use up the scraps, but on the back and not on the front. So vote in the poll. That'd be great. Holly, no, I have not quite finished. I have 3 rows left to go. And they're the last 3 rows, and they look fairly, I don't want to jinx myself. She says unable to do even a single crochet first thing in the morning here. But they look fairly like repetitive. There's no like scary 2 here, 1 there, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2 randomness. I think we all have our days like that. Type, spell, use a keyboard, drink out of a mug without spilling. Am I not the only person who, like, I'm going to take a sip and realized I've totally missed my mouth. Like, mouth is over here somewhere. Yeah. It was a big risk me taking a sip of drink straight after having said that. So, could have totally jinxed myself. I stayed up quite late last night getting to this point. I really want to finish the crochet section, not the crochet, but the main blanket section um today, if that makes sense. We won't get anything else done, but if we could get the main section done and maybe the slip stitching started, that would be legit cool. But we'll see. Drinking is hard. Yes, it is. Angela says she could trip over air. Definitely, me too. I'll trip and I'll look around and there is literally nothing there. Like, what even is my life? Like, I just don't even know the answer. Oh, hang on. I'm like, wow, this seems to be going on a long time before I need to do one. It's because I needed to do one right there. I miss my mouth too often. Outside says it's because I need to stop talking long enough to take a sip. I mean, that could legit be my problem also. Yeah. Beck says I just have the problem of not finishing the drink and knocking it over later when I go to see if it's finished or not. I went to check. I had a big cup of tea yesterday, like in a huge cup. It's my favorite cup, and I went to pick it up like really weirdly because I really did think it was empty, and I've just sort of grabbed the lip of it to pull it to look, and realized oh no, it's still half full. To get in there with the second hand. But yeah, drinking is hard. John says I have 8 more days worth of squares for my blanket than the border. Oh, come on, John, we can do this. We can totally do this. Anybody else nearing the end of a project or nearing the end of a milestone of a project? Because I know we've still got the borders to go, and borders are, meh. I was looking at what my next project is going to be, and I wanted it to be something in pieces so that I didn't have to so that I could cart it with me, so I'm not so limited to when I can work on it. And I found this really cute blanket, except the back of it looked like a dog's breakfast. Like, I did a test square and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is dreadful. That is the worst. And I'm so upset because that I really want, like, I had the yarn for it. I even ordered like a third color because I loved it so much. But yeah. Russell says, just redid my studio. Does that count? Yes, it does, Russell. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a yarn craft project that you've hit a milestone on. I love to hear about all the milestones. Her store's just about to reopen, so that's exciting for Ruth. Oh, Newspin Girls, I love that. Missing my mouth while drinking is directly proportional to the color of my shirt. White shirt equals 100%. Yeah, I have that same problem. Like, when I'm deciding what to cook for dinner, for some reason, I always decide to make something with splattery red sauce when I'm wearing either a light gray or a white shirt. I don't know. Like, I own a million black t-shirts. I wear black t-shirts a lot, but do you think those are the days that I make splattery red sauce? No. No, it's not. Knitspin Girl says, I just finished a 1 kilo spin that I started in June. Oh, that is fantastic. That's a huge effort. John says, I've timed it perfectly. It's starting to get chilly at night. So attaching these rows and working on the border will be nice. Yeah, I realized last night because we're having an unseasonal cold. There's a cold front coming up. Like, there's places in Australia that's currently getting snow, which is weird because it's summer. Anyway, so it's been unseasonably cold the last couple of nights, and so sitting in the couch with this draped over me, I don't mind at all. Even Louis getting in on it. Last night I went to move and he did the sad noise at me because I had to lift him off the blanket because I don't leave the blanket in the lounge room. I bring it back here and shut the door. Game Widow says, like, walking with a mug of tea. I'm extra careful not to spill or bump my elbow as I'm going. Yeah, look, I have to actually not fill my cups up so much, because the chances of me walking and needing to laugh at the same time with a cup of tea in my hand, and I'm not a laugher. I laugh, like, and so my arm moves, and yeah. I made my chiropractor laugh yesterday because he was doing an adjustment and I was laughing at Abby and my whole body was shaking. He just thought that was just precious. Russell says, I've older t-shirts I wear while cooking and washing dishes, often change after dinner. Yeah, like that's a good idea. I don't even think of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to make food for the humans. Not making food for humans tonight, as it is the first Thursday of the month. It is Caffeinated Crafters Night. So if you are local in the Brisbane-ish, Gold Coast-ish region, or you know, are comfortable getting yourself to IKEA at Logan, then you should pop in and say hi. We just sit there and have some meatballs and work on a project. I won't be working on this project, but I'll find something to bring. And yeah, just have an all-out fun night, and then go off and wander around IKEA on our way out, trying to find our ways to our cars. Caroline has just finished her first ever sock on 2.25 needles. It's a bit tight to get on. Should I do a larger size or use a larger needle? Oh, that's a tough one. Because the looser the stitches in your socks, the faster the socks will wear out. But in saying that, if there's no elasticity, it means that it is too tight, like that the stitching's too tight. So you could go up a needle size. But if there's elasticity and it's still too tight on your foot, then you do need to go up to the larger size of sock. Did that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But yeah, your sock's supposed to stretch and expand over your foot so that it's snug. Think like dress socks and things like that. It's supposed to do that. So if it's not stretching at all because the stitches are so tight, then go up a needle size. But that is awesome that you have done your first ever sock, and I'm very proud of you. Oh, really? It's the 7th step. I'm going to have to check that out, because you're probably right. I do, you know, walk like a ship on the ocean. Dodgy knees make it so I do this weird walk. Tally says, another almost done or halfway, depends on if I decide if it needs to be bigger. Kathy has ordered the yarn for a knit blanket, Style Craft Heather's blanket. Kathy, did you send me a link for that one? I think I saw a link for that one. I want to make a cotton blanket, and I want it to be knee rug size. I don't want to make another big one for a little while. I have lots of yarn. I have 4 200-gram balls of both blue and white. So that's 8 balls in total. And then I have another 2 balls of a red coming as well. So another 400 grams. So that's 1,200 grams of DK cotton, or it's a light DK. Bendigo's 8-ply is not 8-ply. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely, so I want ideas. I was thinking of knitting it, but the more I look at the knitting patterns, that they don't really do a lot of knitting in cotton. And so I'm not really getting, I don't know. I'm thinking I may just go with crochet after all. But I'm going to pick up a knit project so that I can alternate between knitting and crochet in the live stream, so that we don't get stuck doing one single big project for ages and ages and ages. So yeah, I want to be able to alternate between 2 smaller projects, one knitting and one crochet. So I am technically knitting a silk t-shirt for myself. So, you know, once I get, I'm in some scary mathing sections right now, so I don't want to do those live. But once I'm into the rounding section, because it's knitting around, after the sleeves, then I will probably be able to do that on camera too. I don't even know what the temperature is here right now. Let me have a look. It is currently 21, feels like 18 degrees Celsius. Molly says it's 38 degrees in Darwin. Oh gosh, that's pretty meh. Holly says I'm doing a corner to corner graph again and I'm on the decrease row, so it's all downhill. Nice. Freaky says I'm waiting on a drive band for my wheel. Once that shows up, I'll be spinning. That is awesome. I pre-ordered from the Big Wool Show some beautiful Castle Dale from Wendy Beer. I just thought, you know what? She sells out. I don't know if she's planning on any special deals, but I just wanted these particular colors. So I may have bought fiber. So I should possibly make sure I spin it. But right now I have been working on finishing off projects, clearing out things, working out what tools I do and don't actually want and need. I'm doing a massive big like cleanup because as the store is selling out of stock, I'm condensing down all of the stock items and I'm getting some really great little storage containers. So I've been, reorganizing things just around the house with the really cool little storage things. So that's been fun as well. Allison is weaving this morning. This blanket is cotton and the border is going to be crazy. I have lots of random color 10-gram balls to use up. That is awesome. I actually don't mind the random color balls. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, there's photos in the fun zone. I'm glad to hear it. Lisby, I did see your rainbow socks. And I love how you took a photo under like the blue light as well. So we could check out the glow in the dark neon from, it's Linda, like Dying Dream. Linda does the neon colors. So that's always a bit of fun as well. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's feeling so weird being this close to finish this blanket. It felt like I was never going to get it done for just so long, like through this yellow section, like here, just being able to sort of get that done was really hard. And now I'm a little emotional. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? Because I've had a giant project on the go for years, causing all sorts of craziness and guilt. So yeah. Christina says eating dinner and then hoping to finish husband's baby alpaca scuff. Oh, nice. That'd be lovely. Good morning, Beersheba. Were your ears just burning? Because I was just talking about how I may have purchased from your store the other day because there were pretties and I wanted the pretties. Let me look here. Less misting, more hooking. Yeah, I'm still going, John. You're right. You're right. Because I want to get these 3 rows. And we've been doing really well with getting 3 rows done in each stream. And I worked up until about 11:30 last night. I'm like, okay, there's 3 rows left. I really should be able to do those. So as long as nothing dramatic happens, knock wood, everyone needs to send positive juju this way. Then we will get these 3 rows done today. And then the main portion of the blanket is complete. Now, I do have a question. So those of you that have done the queen, you guys know how I've been doing the extra twist on here. Do I still need to go back and knot the ends on the starting side, even though I've been doing the extra, bringing it through? So, because I was kind of doing it thinking I wasn't going to have to do it. But then after watching Tina's video this morning, I'm like, do I still need to do that? So if you guys could let me know in the chat, that would be great. Those of you that have done one of these style of blankets before, not necessarily the queen, but any of them with the closed borders. Artsag, thank you for sending me good blanket juju. I appreciate that. Good blanket juju is always appreciated. So I just wanted to double check because I think the point of me doing that extra, bringing that tail through with that first stitch was so I didn't have to. Josephine didn't knot hers. Okay, and Josephine taught me how to do the thing. So, all right. John's been eating his Australian goodies box. Um, I agree with the Vegemite shapes. I'm not a fan. The Tim Tams I love, and the caramello koalas you could eat by the fistful. Yeah, absolutely. They are. I love caramello koalas. Um, oh, Kathy says I knotted them as well, even though I did the beginning like me. Okay, so it's a 50-50 so far. Yeah, you know what? I like Vegemite, but I don't like Vegemite shapes. Abby likes Vegemite shapes. Bishiba says Tim Tams are awesome. Actually, I'm about to have one. That is excellent. Vampire says I nodded mine just to be extra sure they weren't going anywhere. I think I might do the same. I think I might do the same just because now I'm paranoid. And I'd hate to do all this work and only for it to come undone when I wash it. I think I would sit on the floor in the laundry and cry. Um, I agree with Jackie Doyle. Barbecue or pizza. I don't like savory shapes, but barbecue or pizza shapes, they're my favorites. I like them both. Um, or chicken drumsticks. What are those ones? Yeah, chicken drumsticks. I like them there too. They're really crispy. Chicken in a biscuit. But not chicken crimpies. Chicken crimpies are gross. Abby likes chicken crimpies. But chicken crimpies are like what you would clean out of a fish tank. Gross. That's how much I don't like chicken crimpies. I just realized that was probably a little bit too graphic. Artec likes bacon shapes. I don't think I've had bacon shapes. I don't really enjoy, like, I love bacon, right? Don't get me wrong. But I'm not a big fan of the kind of the fake bacon taste. It's kind of like banana. I love banana, but don't like fake banana. Okay, we are coming to the end of this row already. Oh, Natalie says we fight over who ate all the chicken crimpies. See, I fight over who opens the chicken crimpies and expects me to eat them. Jackie says Bacon Smith's crisps are the bomb. Really? I've seen them, but I've never bought them. Like cheese shapes. Topping up the tea. I think I'm really going to power through the tea today. There we go. So yeah, looking at the UV light, a UV yarn. Oh, ice vovos. John's got ice vovos, everybody. I love ice vovos. They're an institution in Australia as well. Ice vovos are amazing. Just eat one, John. Just eat one. There's another brand that has a lovely cheese flavor. What are the brand name of the ones you had at retreat? What did I have at retreat? I can't remember now. Mint slices forever. You're hilarious. I do prefer mint slice over a Tim Tam. I won't lie. If I have to choose between a mint slice and a Tim Tam, the mint slice wins. Farmhouse cheddar. I don't know. I don't know what biscuits I had. Oh, I know what I had. I had my Sunbites. Here, I can show you. Because Tim and Abby steal them. These are my snacks my dietitian recommends, right? So I buy these, and these are the cheddar and chive Sunbites, the caramelized onion and balsamic vinegar. It's written right here. I still can't say the words. And sea salt. These are my favorite snacks, honestly. And I have to hide them in here because Tim and Abby also love them. And if I don't hide them, they just disappear, and then I don't have any healthy snacks and end up just eating, trash. So I don't want to eat trash. I'm doing very well with the plan from the dietitian and the exercise physiologist. And so I don't want to do trash. And I have chocolate and I have other things that I like because I'm allowed, and I'm doing very well. But a little packet of those in the afternoon gets rid of, like, the crunchy, cheese and crackers afternoon tea sort of, um, craving, and it's good. It's yummy. It cost my friend Eleanor $50 to send this box to me. I need to send her some good stuff back. Yeah, you'll need to find some yummy things. Or even just some things that we don't have here, because that's the trick, isn't it? Um, is finding something that we don't have, or that what we have is actually different than what you have. Like, because I know Tim Tams are available in the US, but they're not made the same. Oh, we just finished a row, FYI. Bam. That was the last purple row. So the rest of this now can be used for the border, because we now have 2 pink rows. Okay. I went from the outside of the ball on this one, and I regret my decision. Like, because it was annoying me, because I was sitting on the couch and it was like next to me on the couch and it was just annoying. We have a lot of local good stuff that you can't get in the next state. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, second to last row. Yeah, I like peckish. We call them. I know they're peckish, but we call them peckish crackers because we like to make things sound fancy. The seaweed ones, Abby and I love those. They're great. But I find that, like, I can be full on one of those little packets, whereas on the peckish, I tend to eat more of them, if that makes sense. So, and that's one of the issues that the dietitian's having is because I don't eat a lot, um, trying to find nutrient rich, helpful stuff that I enjoy eating, um, instead of, just sort of filling up on low calorie stuff. Because we had to double my calories and triple my protein. So that's been fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. And then single. And then just keep going. Hello to the live. Hit that like. Thank you. Yes. We are in the second last row of this. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. Yeah, Natalie, that's the thing. Like, it's easy to eat an entire tray of peckish crackers, whereas I don't have, like, yeah, but I have like 6. So I need them to actually have something in them that makes it worth eating them. Jackie is also saying that that mint slice is better than Tim Tams. I'm just checking the poll results here. For those that are just hitting the live stream now, I have a poll just up at the top of the live chat there. And what it is I'm nearly up to the border. This is my second last row of the blanket. And so I'm nearly up to the border. And I'm just deciding on what to do. So I should probably grab some scales and find out how many grams of the purple I've got. But what I was thinking is, because I wasn't sure if I'd have enough purple to do the entire closed border, like, so the front and the back both in purple. So what I was thinking was I would do the back using up all the scrappy rainbow bits, like all the leftovers of the colors, and do the front in purple. So that's what the poll is. Should I try for all purple and see what happens? Or should I just plan to go with rainbow back and purple front? Because you do the back first, which is just a little orcs. Beershiva says most snack foods have MSG in them, makes them moreish. Not the snack foods that I buy, because I can't eat MSG. It's one of the things I react to. So yeah, it's just on my list of numbers that I just can't consume. So my list is quite long. Oh, hey, I have a little shopping bag on my screen where I can tap to see your new merch. Are you all seeing that? I actually just set that up this morning. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let me set up my Redbubble account. So I have had to set up the other account, which I do like. I love the t-shirts, but apparently their postage to Australia is not awesome. So just, for clarity, if you need it to be shipped to Australia, then Redbubble might be a better way to go. But Spreadshop, which is what's linked, actually have better quality t-shirts. Not that the Redbubble shirts are bad, but the Spreadshop ones are just really nice. I saw text while waiting for the live to start, but no bag. Okay. Jackie can see it. That's cool, you guys. I just figured I'd throw it up there, see how it works. I don't expect anyone to click it. Goodness me. I'm just powering. I think my hands are like so excited to finish this project. It's just, yeah, it's one of these things. You speed up as you get towards the end. And I'm just so excited. Honestly, I'm just so excited. Because last night she was like, "Are you coming to bed?" And I'm like, "No, I just want to get a few more rows done so that." Because like last week, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, 3 more weeks and this will be finished. And then this week, I got an extra few rows done. I'm like, huh, I wonder. Maybe next week. Maybe this next week will be finished. This part of it. And then yesterday, I was like, no, I've got an extra couple of hours. I'm just going to stay up, and I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to get it to this 3 rows thing. So then after I finish this row, we'll go in and we'll knot the joining side, and then we'll also, if we have time, then we might even start trimming down the tails. Have you got the end of large project? Yes, I think I do, Talia, but I've still got the border to go. It's still like a massive next step. I mean, this is a huge section that's just about completed, but the border is also another massive next step. So next week I'll probably be working on the border, Freaky. I don't think I'll get the border done in a week. Although I didn't think I'd get 15 rows done in a week either. So maybe I can get a border done in a week. Who knows? It's still, I agree with you. It is still a huge finish. It is, absolutely. Maru, welcome to the live. Good to see you here. Dolores, I've been listening whilst in the kitchen. Great progress on the Queen. Thank you. Thank you. It is definitely a I think Talia's got it right. It's the end of Project Jitters. It's because you guys know I've been working on this project off and on now for 2 years. At least. It's 2 years, right? I think it's 2 years. But yeah, it is definitely time for this one to be done and dusted. I'm just hoping it can fit in my washing machine for a wash. I don't want to have to take it up to the laundromat because Louis's been laying on it because he loves it. Talia says, having seen it in person, it is huge. Yes, it is quite enormous. I was going to bring in a tape measure so we could measure it, but I haven't. I didn't. Thank you, Maru. It has been a labor of love. This one. Russell's saying, what are you going to do with it once it's done? Well, as it's summer, it's probably just going to go in the cupboard, but this one's going to be for us. This one's going on our bed. So maybe next winter. But yeah, I'll get some photos of it and go from there. Face cam. Did it freeze again? I think it has. Oh my goodness. Hang on. I'm going to fix it. Sony, deactivate and activate. I don't know what happened there. There we go. I don't know why that froze. It just did. It's all back now. But thank you for letting me know. That is bizarre, and I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, Freaky says, now that hasn't happened in quite some time. I agree with you. We'll have to relaunch the face cam mugs. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'll pull it out next winter and go, oh, my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll have to put it into like a big vacuum sealable bag to make it even fit in the cupboard without, having to pull out 5 other things. So, yeah. Just going to check. Oh, okay. The computer's got some serious resource issues going on. I'm just going to check to see what I've got running in the background. All right. I'm actually going to close out of the YouTube screen here. So you guys will still, nothing will change for you, but you'll have to let me know if anything happens mod-wise, because I just needed to fix up some resources. Oh, there we go. That helped. Goodness me. So, yeah. I don't know if there's any updates happening. I'll have to have a look. I thought I had everything run this morning, but I did remember to log off last night, so I did do a fresh reboot this morning. Yeah. Okay. I was cold here last night. I hope I'm not coming to. No, it was cold last night. It was actually, according to the weatherman, it was the coldest November. I think it was the coldest November low in recorded history, or something dramatic like that. But yeah, it got down to single digits overnight here, which is so bizarre. I loved it. I was just like, hello, Duna. I'm so glad I hadn't put you away yet. Yeah, the Chrome extensions, like for desktop versions, don't tend to do the same sort of updates as apps do. So like, because I was going directly through the website, but it did drop down to, using less of the resources. So hopefully that will solve that problem. We'll soon find out. But I feel naked now because I can't look and mod, because I don't have my modding screen open. I probably could have popped out the chat and then closed it. That could have worked. Anyway, that's bizarre. How bizarre. I think I can hear Abby up and around moving about. Dolores said, I think even, yeah, that's right. So there was some I think Tasmania got snow. So, welcome to summer. With this polar wind, this polar freeze coming through. So anyway, I've closed that down. So fingers crossed that that we're using some less resources. Gosh, I'm like halfway through this row already. You guys, we're totally going to get to the end, I think. Oh, unless the stream freezes again or something dramatic happens. Nitspin says, I don't like the new thumbs up thing on YouTube. On my phone, it's too easy to accidentally hit the thumbs down. Yeah, I've been hearing that. Oh, okay. So Francis says there's snow in the mountains of New South Wales and Victoria, not just Tasmania. Wow, that is insane. That is so good. I mean, it's crazy. I've even heard of something happening and it looking like it snowed in Brisbane in summer one year. I mean, I think it was before I was born, but I just remember hearing about that because we don't actually get snow in Brisbane at all. So to have any, let alone snow in summer, was bizarre, because we don't have the altitudes here in Brisbane to get us up high enough to make it cool enough. Oh, my goodness. Just give my fingers a little stretch. Amelia said that South Australia had snow things this week, first time in 50 years. Hello, Sandy G. Welcome to the chat. Snow in her house in Victoria and reports from friends of snow in Orange and Oberon. Wow. That's crazy. So crazy. See, I went from the outside of the ball and I regret it. Now it's just got to jump around the table. I definitely prefer going from the inside. What it was is I couldn't be bothered caking it up. So if I had caked it up, I could have gone from the inside, no problems. I should have just done that, right? And the big one I didn't cake up because I can't yet, not without cutting it. And I don't want to cut it if I don't have to. Leaves are changing here, no snow yet. It's coming in a couple of weeks, though, I'm sure. Talia's popped a link about the snow in Brisbane in the fun zone. Thank you. Appreciate it. Game Widow says we've had lots of hail on Cup Day. Absolutely freezing. Beersheba says the rainfall here so far has been like the 1950s, which means even more next year. Oh, that hits in the... We just got our insurance premiums for this year. And while they have increased, and it's a considerable increase, it's actually less than what we thought they were going to increase it to. So, because the local council rezoned all the houses and changed the flood maps. And now our house appears on the flood map, even though in all of the recent floods, it has not flooded. But yeah, I'm very happy that at least for this year, the insurance company have, not gone too crazy, because we thought we did that big claim. You guys remember when we had the indoor water feature? So we did the big claim and got all that work done. And because we had hail damage on our solar panels, they replaced all of our solar stuff. And because the new panels wouldn't connect to our old inverter, we got a brand new inverter as well. So we basically got an entire new roof solar system, as well as all the painting and the gyprocking and the repairs and the big blower vac things to dry out all the walls and all that sort of stuff. And they basically increased it less than what our what's it called? The bit you have to pay to make a claim. There's a word for it. My brain won't give it to me. So we were like, okay, well, I mean, considering we made a claim and the council have changed the floodplains, we're expecting worse. Bianca, welcome to the chat. Natalie says it's so cold here, but still have a massive mozzie problem because of all the water around. Harry's been having to wear Aerogard to school. Oh gosh, that's pretty full on. No, we don't call it a deductible here. We call it something else. Excess. Jackie's got it. Our excess. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think deductible's the US word for it. Excess is the Australian word for it. And like when you go to the doctor and you use your insurance and stuff, you pay the gap, and then the insurance company pays the rest. So I like that too. Well, it depends on which place you go to if they allow that. So yeah, the mozzies are horrible. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of mozzies. I don't always get attacked. Like, how they talk about how some people like attract mozzies more than others. And I will quite often get bitten, but I'm not normally the one that they swarm to. That's my dad. He's the one who gets basically could be carried away by them. We joke about co-payment. Okay. Oh, okay. So our gap is called a co-payment. All right. That's cool to know as well. Kathy says we just put solar panels on our house. Yeah, we've got a 3.8 kilowatt system, I think is what we've got. 3.8 or 3.6, something like that. And then a 5 kilowatt inverter. So we can add some more solar panels if we want to, but we don't really have the roof space for more. And that's been really nice because the last few months we have not had any electricity bills, which has been great because we've got a very good or very generous buy scheme. So I think it's something like, and I'm not 100% certain, but it's something like when we sell power to the grid, it's around 46 to 48 cents per kilowatt. But when we buy it back from the grid, it's something like 22 cents. So, yeah. So, yeah. So we're it's cool. The insurance companies pay up the scheduled fee and then the gap is on the top. Yep. Maru plans to get some solar panels soon. I think if you're in an area and it works, then you should you should totally do it. But not every geographical area suits solar panels. I just happen to live in a subtropical place where it's sunny, even in winter. And so it's definitely a good idea for us. John says, I can't get flood insurance because I'm close to 1.8 kilometers from the ocean. Really? We've got two different kinds of flood insurance in Australia. We've got where the water comes in, like rain, like water coming down, or flooding water going up. So you have to make sure you've got both in your policy. So yeah, quite often people will have coverage for if like there's rain damage, like cracks in the roof or whatever, and it ruins all your gyprock or your drywall. But then they don't have the if the water creeps up through the house kind of thing. Kathy says ours are around 7 kilowatts. Yeah, but that's awesome. That's great. Maru says, yeah, I'm in California. We get quite a bit of sun. Yeah, then absolutely. If you can do it, you should totally do it. We've had ours now for, I don't know, it's going on. It's got to be around 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And it's been wonderful. Like we don't even notice like short of the electricity bill, it's not obtrusive. Like the solar panels are on a section of the roof that's not really seen from the road, and even if it was, we still wouldn't care. And yeah, it's just they're up on the roof, they're out of the way. The only thing that really does any damage is if there's hail, or Abby in a bloody frisbee. She flicks frisbees and balls on the roof all the time. And then other than that, it's just all the benefits. I mean, obviously there's the initial cost. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not cheap. But if you can do it, it's totally worth it. It's the angle of your roof that's more important, whether or not it's points northish through the panels are getting better and more of the house can benefit. Yeah, there's lots of different important things. Our panels are not in an ideal situation, but it's because of how our house is built. But we didn't have much in the way of choice. It was either put them on the pitch that we put them on or not have them at all. And so we went with something's better than nothing, right? Oh yeah, we don't have the battery backup, so that's awesome. I love the battery backups because when we first installed, getting a battery backup was like an additional $20,000. Like it was like $6,000 or $7,000 for the actual install, and then another $20,000 if you wanted battery backup. I think that if we had to change plan, because right now you can't get a 46 buy-in plan, you can only get 8 cents. So I think if we had to do one of those plans, we definitely wouldn't want to sell off our power. We'd want to keep it and use it. So I think that would be better. But yeah, I love the idea of the battery backups. Jennifer Baker, welcome to the chat. Marie says, I've seen houses that have solar panels on the roof and it doesn't look bad, kind of gives a house a more modern look. Yeah, Um, and Jackie, I agree. It's all good if you own your own house, but as a renter, I have no option to have solar or to switch out for more efficient appliances. It's all up to the landlord. Yes, that is absolute truth. Um, Natalie, that is awesome. Take a deal where you can get a deal is what I say. Yeah. But yeah, solar panels are interesting. I'm not sure what they do with the old solar panels, and I think that will be interesting to see how they're recycling those, because they are starting to take old panels off the roof and replace them with new technology. Or in our case, they were hail damaged, so they had to come down and be replaced. So I'm sure that's probably not awesome. So, is it digging coal out of the ground not awesome? Or is I don't know. I don't know all the answers. I really don't. Um, John says 20 grand for a battery backup. I'd get a generator. I just go without power. I don't have either. Um, but yeah, I don't think it's 20 grand now, John. I think that was just back when we got ours like years ago. The technology was different. Now it's a lot easier to get your hands on the battery backups. They're actually building a lot of homes so that they're totally off the power grids, which I think is wonderful as well. Second last row is completed. How exciting. We're on the final row, you guys. Oh my God. I'm trying not to get misty because John said less misty, more crocheting. Less misty, more crocheting. We've got this. Jackie says currently no technology for recycling that I'm aware of. Yeah. And I think that's something you also have to keep in mind because they will need to be replaced. We have rules in Queensland about like water efficient, like like you have to have like water efficient taps and things like that. Because we like not lately, but we've quite often like over the last sort of 15 years have gone into like severe water restrictions where it's like they call it the 140 each person can use 140 liters of water a day, which sounds like a lot, but that includes all your laundry. Do I do this final row yeah, it's in the back loop. It's on the chart. That's all right. I was just thinking it to myself. Yeah, so that includes all dishwashing, all laundry, everything. Yeah, because we were going through severe droughts and we were running out of drinkable water. So there was was it 140 and then it went down to 120. So it was like 2-minute showers with the shower heads that are like 9 liters a minute. And then, dishwashers became a lot more water efficient than hand washing your dishes. Front loading washing machines because they use a lot less water than top loaders. Like all these sorts of things. But yeah, it's just very interesting how the cycles happen with weather, and right now that's not the problem. Like, oh yeah, I could totally water my lawn every afternoon if I want to, but I don't want to because it's like a sludgy puddle because it's just been so much water. My lawn is very, very thick and green and it grows very fast. Warm weather and rain make things grow. Excuse me. 3-minute showers, John, not 2-minute showers. But yeah, 3-minute showers. When you've got really long hair and you need to wash your hair, that's not doable. Jenna, yes, this is the final row, right? I just got here and I'm watching Chantelle finish her long time. It's like I have to say, it's the final row of the blanket. We still have all the border work to do. But yeah, I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, it feels so weird. It's the final countdown. Beersheba says rainwater is all that they use on their farm. Yeah, there's a lot of places that don't have access to town water, so you're limited to what's in your tanks. But I am a suburbia dweller. Suburbia, that's the word I'm looking for, right? and I'm on town water, so I'm not quite as limited. Oh, here comes Abs. You're ready to go. Good luck on your final exam.
Thanks.
Go and get some lunch.
I will.
All right.
Hello, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.
Abby's off for her final high school exam. So fingers crossed she does well in that. She's been studying, so that's good. Suburbanite, is that the word? Oops, there's a. Now I'm getting fussy, aren't I? It's like, oh, hang on, there was a loose thread on that one. I'll just pull it back because I've only got this many stitches left to go. Wow. This feels so kind of weird. I really didn't think I would ever get this blanket done. And I was tossing up whether or not to do a 2 or 3 row border. And the more I was looking at Tinner's today on the bigger blankets, I think the 3 row, even though the blanket's quite big, I think it needs the 3 row border. I don't think a 2 row will be enough. I will let when she gets home, I'll tell her that you guys all wished her luck because she's already off. I can already hear the car pulling out of the driveway. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, Jackie. That's how you wash your hair when you're on water restrictions. You jump in, you wet your hair, and then you turn the water off and you do all the lathery, washing of the hair. And then turn the water back on and rinse everything off. Then turn the water off, lathery for the conditioner. And I'll tell you, water restrictions in winter really suck. So, yeah, because like it gets cold while you've got the water off. But yeah, it's just what you have to do. It's just like, do you want drinking water? Not that it's an issue right now. It's like we're like, oh, let's just release the dams so they don't overflow. So yeah. Francis says I was one of 4 girls and Papa would bang on the door if we went over 5 minutes in the shower. Yep. I don't know if Abby recalls ever being under like water restriction rules because the last time we had the big heavy duty one, she was little enough that she had baths. So I would just only half sort of quarter fill the bathtub. Game Widows Abby is on a school camp. Suspect they're icebergs. Oh, school camp surfing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a dash cold for that. I'll just bring my hands back over. But yeah, water restrictions aren't really a thing that's happening here at the moment, just with the crazy amounts of rain we've been getting. So we really do have the most interesting conversations, I reckon. Now everyone's required to take a 40-minute shower. It's just like, yep, no. No, it's just more of a case because like you still like as a homeowner, you still have to pay for excess water usage. Like it's seriously freaking cheap. I think that's like, oh yeah, I'm like, I think we should totally be paying more for bulk water. But like everyone around me is like, are you insane? Why would you say that? And it's just like because water is not an infinite resource. And I can buy a kiloliter of water for less than the bottle of a bottle of water at the store. Oh, Allison, yes, where you have to put the coin in to get the hot water running, and then it shuts off, and you're like, you've got shampoo in your hair, but you don't have any more coins. Yeah. You and your daughter have big things being final today. Exams for Abby, graph for work. Yes, it is definitely a day of finishings. I don't like long showers or baths, 10 minutes at the most for a shower, actually. See, Angela, I think a 10-minute shower is actually quite a long shower. Just because I grew up on the 3-minute showers. So I'm like, and you know what? In this time, I will stand there with the water running while I'm shampooing my hair. I will let the water just run down the drain. John says my water bill was about 47 Australian a month. I don't know what ours is. I'd have to have a look. I haven't, because ours comes out quarterly. So, but I don't recall seeing. I just pay it because you can't dispute it. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. I'm not sure what mine is. But see, like for me, water is my thinking space. So, like, I'm that person who has a notepad in the bathroom because I will lean out of the shower and write stuff down because my brain works really well when I've got the shower smashing me in the face. I don't know why. I'm sure there's probably some, I don't know, some logic. I think my brain shuts off while I'm in the shower and then all of a sudden goes, bam, new idea. Ha ha ha. Oh, and also you'll forget it by the time you get out. Marie says, I already normally take quick showers, but I don't think they have a water limit thingy here in California. Really? That actually surprises me because you guys are pretty, I mean, I suppose depending where in California you are, but it's pretty dry with a lot of people. Yeah, Jackie says water through the tap is like $1.70 for a kiloliter, whereas a bottle of water is around $5 to $6 for 500 ml. Yet, which one do people complain about? Yeah, they complain about the bulk water. Donkeys. Molly says we're very water wise at our place, hangover from being on tank water. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I remember we had tank water in a few of the houses we lived at. And Mum used to put a poem up in the bathroom, which I won't recite for you, but it was about when not to flush, because flushing the toilet uses lots of water, because that was back in the day before dual flush systems. Do you guys have dual flush systems in the US? So we can have a little flush or a big flush, like a half flush or a full flush. Sometimes you don't need a full flush. So that way you don't use all that water. I haven't heard anything, but then again, I don't watch TV. So, yeah. Francis said, I had a student tell me he doesn't drink tap water. I nearly laughed in his face. Man, where does he think his water comes from? I have a friend who gets her water in a tank on her truck for a house, 200 gallons, costs her $2. Oh, no. If you've got on tank water and you run out and you've got to get someone to bring out and top up your tanks, that costs an absolute fortune here. That's it. That's the one, Natalie. That's it. Oh, the half flush is an Australian invention. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Yep. Knitspin Girl says, I'm renting and I pay for my water, but not rates. Works out to be about $50 a quarter. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's the poem my mum used to, she would like write it in pretty paper and stick it on the wall behind the toilet door. Yeah, no, so we're a lot of half flushings here. So, obviously we know when you'd need a full flush, but the rest of the time you don't need a full flush. You just use a half flush. But yeah, I didn't realize that was an Australian invention. That's cool. Artsag, you've been warned, Artsag. We have interesting conversations here. We may be all crafting, but we talk about all different things. I never thought I'd be present for a discussion on international differences in toilet flush technology. It's a golden age. Oh my gosh. Oh, and our toilets actually hold less water as well. Do they really? I didn't know that either. I know that like when I'm like at a much older house, the actual flush isn't as efficient. I've noticed now they like line the water up in a specific place so it flushes things out more efficiently. Lisby says US toilets have a very high water level. The splash is oh, really? Like in Australian toilets, it's only the very bottom that has any water in it. The rest of the bowl is totally empty. Gosh. Man, I didn't know that. I knew that our cisterns seemed smaller, but I just didn't know that that was all of that. Wow. Oh yeah, and it does. Freaky, you're right. It does spin the opposite way. Um oh wow. I'll have to remember that because I've never been to the US, so I don't know any of this stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm like, "Oh, I'm afraid to use an American toilet now. I could drown in it." 'Cause, you know what? I'm sitting here thinking, "Oh, I don't really recall seeing anything like this," but you in all the teenage movies where the kids get swirlies, like where their heads are dunked into the toilet, I've always wondered how on earth that worked. Like, what do they do to break the toilet first to get the water level so high? Because you can't get a swirly in an Australian toilet. You'd concuss them on the bowl first. Um, oh my gosh. Okay. Far out. We really do have the weirdest conversations, don't we? Solar electricity, solar batteries, toilet flushing technology. Is this a yarn crafting channel or what? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you all hang out here and, put up with our weird conversations that we have. It is really just like the sort of weird things. It's like something crazy pops into your head while you're sitting there talking with mates, and then all of a sudden that's the conversation. That's what happens here. It's totally what happens here. Um, we have a lower level flush toilet in our area in the US. They are changing to the lower levels. Oh, awesome. John, I appreciate you not doing. Wouldn't that be weird? Someone new joins the fun zone and the first thing they see is a toilet, the inside of a toilet bowl. I mean, if your toilet's clean, I don't care, but you know, is it clean? Possibly not. Um, Kelly says it's the same in Malaysia. The water is like 10 centimeters from the top of the bowl. Oh my gosh. Um, Murray says, to be honest, it's a nice change from sitting in my room by myself watching YouTube, so I don't mind. Well, I'm glad you don't mind. We're all a little weird here. We're all a little weird. This is our safe weird place. We can safely talk about water heights in toilet bowls and solar panel battery systems and Tim Tams. Oh gosh, yeah, kids are the worst on toilets, right? It's just like that. It's like they don't care. It's like they think a toilet fairy comes in and cleans it in between uses. I had to have a discussion with Abby about the bathroom in general. I'm like, "You're 17, honey. I need your help. I shouldn't have to do all these chores by myself. So this one is now yours. Enjoy." And she does a fantastic job. Great chats and support comments for Crochet with Claire to get a puppy. More comments in it. Oh, absolutely. I can't believe how her group has 80,000 members and she has less than last time I looked it was less than 1,000 comments. Like it's like people don't want her to get a dog. I don't understand. Embrace the weird, normal is overrated. I'm like, embrace the weird, normal doesn't exist. Um, it is just just crazy. I was just thinking, like, we've got the Big Wool Show coming up. So does everybody in the chat here know about the Big Wool Show? And I'm going to have to jump in and close our poll soon so I can decide what I'm going to do for my blanket. Oh, it's 2,700 now. Thank you, Amelia. It's still not enough, though, because she needs 10,000. I thought that she would get 10,000 in a heartbeat. Honestly, I really thought that she'd get 10,000 comments in a heartbeat. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know what the Big Wool Show here is, it's a virtual yarn crafters event that's running next weekend. It has like a pile of different stalls, all local Australian businesses. Quite a few of them do ship internationally, but you do just need to double check. And if you are international, the Australian dollar is in the toilet right now, so you will get the bargains. You'll have to pay international postage, but I still think you'll get the bargains. I think last time I checked, the Aussie dollar was about 60 cents Australian, 60 cents US, which is really ouchy for us because the amount of stuff that we have to import that's charged in US dollars is ridiculous. And so, yeah, it's definitely a bargain. And I'll be running over on the Big Wool Show YouTube channel. I'll be running live streams all day with special guests from the different stall holders. And there's going to be a ton of giveaways that you have to be in the live stream for to be eligible for. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Our daughter maintains one bathroom and toilet. I do the other. Life skills are important. I agree, Vampire. Abby's got one. Tim's got the other. I don't do a bathroom anymore. Although I am known to scrub the bath, the actual shower and stuff while I'm in it. If I'm like, oh, this could use a do-over. But yeah. And Tim does his because he's the only one who uses it. Abby and I share one. So yeah. Game Widows is being interviewed. Beersheba is being interviewed. They get their 15-minute slots. They're all booked in. Saturday is already totally booked out. And now we're filling Sunday in. So everyone's jumping in quickly to grab their slots, which is great. We're going to have some interesting panel discussions in the middle of the day. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Freaky says it was fun last year. This year should be heaps of fun. Linda, I haven't heard yet. What haven't you heard, Linda? Angela says I'm going to try to make it to some of the Big Wool Show for a bit this weekend. I think it's next weekend, Angela. It's on the 12th and 13th, from 10 till 4 daylight savings time, Australian Eastern daylight savings time. So is it one where anyone can join, or do we need to pay a small fee? So if you want to be a stall holder, you need to pay to join, but anyone can jump in the live chats and just watch the actual event happen, if that makes sense. So if you want to just jump over onto the Big Wool Show YouTube channel, you can subscribe over there. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers. We are so close, we can smell it. So if you're not subscribed over there, I would love it if you could jump over there and subscribe. There are a ton of great videos. Last year's live streams are still up. There are like interviews with the sponsors. Stall holders have got little videos up. But yeah, if you want to be a stall holder, there is a fee. I actually think that it's closed now. There's no new stall holders being taken. At least as far as I'm aware, you'd need to contact the Big Wool Show directly for that information. I don't deal with that side of it. And then it is also but then if you just want to join in the live chats and be in like what you are here, like where you're watching and listening and in the chat, and yeah, just like, and then in the chat, people in the chat will actually are the ones that can go into the prize draws. Christina says, must remember to tune into the show. Did you remember to factor in lunch breaks? We did. Yeah. Yeah. There will be panel discussions happening through the middle of the day that I won't be a part of. I'll just be I'll be around because I'm running the technical side, but I'll be off camera so I can eat while I do that. So yeah, we're trying out some new stuff this year, so we'll see how it goes. Big Wool Show. Oh, thank you, Leanne. And if you can pop a link into the channel here in the chat as well, that would be amazing. So it's just the Big Wool Show. youtube.com/@BigWoolShow. So close. I know, it's right there. This is how many stitches are left, unless, I spot a mistake. Oh, we're so close. It's so weird. We're so close to finishing this part of the this part of it. Oh, Christine, not just my voice. My whole body will appreciate me standing up and moving around in the middle of the day instead of sitting for 6 hours straight. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Leanne. She's just popped in a link for the Big Wool Show. So yeah, we are so close to the 1,000 subscribers there. YouTube do some stuff for YouTube channels once they hit 1,000 subscribers. So if we could do that, that would be awesome. And then we just need to get the watch time up, but that's going to take some time. That can't be done quickly. So if you find the interviews, there have been some great interviews this week. So if you want to go and check out those with the sponsors, just have them running while you're cooking dinner or something like that. You'll learn a bit about the people who are creating all this stuff. That feels weird doing a single at the end, but that's what we do. Done. Gosh, that's it. Cheers. Wow. I just need some water as well. I don't even know what to say. Gosh. Let's start tying off ends. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. It looks like I used to tie them off at this. I did. I wonder how many of those I've already done. Done. I just tighten them up. I think maybe at one stage I was tightening them as I went before I learnt the new way to do it. Well, that's going to save me some time, isn't it? Wow. And removing the stitch markers. Thank you, Jackie Doyle. Excellent point. That's another job that I need to do. So that will look at this. At one stage, I was thinking ahead. These are all tied off so far. Set 2 colors are already tied off because I was doing it as I went. What a clever person. There we go. That's when I started doing it the other way. All right. So 2 colors. Wow. Mod check. Hello, Jack. How are you going? We do have mods. Thank you for checking. Get up and take a bow and stop and take it in. Oh, I think I'll probably do that when we finish the border. No, Bianca's asking if that'll be a fringe. No, this particular design creates an encased border. So you actually just trim these off to about sort of 3 centimeters long and then create a crocheted thing that actually wraps around it. So yeah, it looks fantastic when it's got when it's got the all the stuff. So yeah, far out, you guys. I can't believe I'm like trying not to cry. Yeah, and close them in a double border. That's right. See you later, Wendy. Have an awesome week. Oh my goodness. I still have my screen share. Oh, I might do actually. Let me have a look. Not set up here. No. There we go. Oh my gosh, we can have confetti. What else have we got? There's so many. It's just been such a oh, John's gonna post photos of the Queen Border Bianca so you can check it out in the live chat. Yeah. Thanks, Kelly. I didn't even think to check these guys. And while I'm celebrating, if you are new to the channel, click the like and the subscribe and the get notified when I go live. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in because I've got all the transitions open. I may as well add that one in too. Far out. Oh, it feels weird. It's like I'm not done yet. And that's the other thing. I'm like, yay, I'm done, but I'm actually not done yet. I'm not done yet. Hang on, there we go. How do you become a member? Oh, a member here on YouTube to get the green name and all that sort of stuff. Just under where the subscribe button is, there is a button that says join, and that gives you all of the information that you need. And yeah, so you can make your decisions from there. Level unlocked. It is definitely a level unlocked. You guys, and I was like, I was so close to finishing and I was like, oh, maybe I should just keep going. I was like, no, I need to share this moment with all of you who have sat through month after month of me working on this project here on the live streams. I had to share finishing this stage with you guys. I'll also make sure that the final whatever the final step is, whether it's weaving in ends or stitches on the border, all that will be live as well. I'll make sure of it, even if I have to just put it down and leave it and wait for the next live stream. Oh, good point. Actually, Jackie, like, are you talking about becoming a channel member here on YouTube or joining the Fiberific Fun Zone? Because the Fun Zone's free. And you just go to YouTube and make sure you answer all the questions. They're very difficult questions. Like, do you like yarn? And then, yeah. Jenna says, I know they're the same meaning, but I call that done, but not finished. Yeah, see, I agree with you. This is definitely not finished. There's still steps to be done. There's still things, but the crochet mosaic part is done. I don't even know, Stella. I'm just doing knots. I don't know. Technically, I don't know if I even need knots because of how I joined it in. I'm you know how like people know the name of the knots that they use? I have no idea. I'm like, is it holding? Yes, then that's it. Okay, so I'll do a knot and you guys can tell me what kind of knot I'm doing. All right. So over and then under and through, and then over and then under and then through. So I don't even know what it's called. It's just a knot that I do. So yeah, I don't know. The knot holds. That's the important thing. That's oh, my hands are out of shot. Hang on. I'll do it again. All right, hang on. Okay. So over and then bring it through. Pull it down and then under and then bring it through. Is it the one? No, it's not how I tie my laces. I tie my laces differently. Oops. So the purple goes over and then comes out like that. And then the purple goes over and comes out like that. I don't even know. It might not even have a name. It's just a knot. I'm just tying it off so that it's not being a baby. Reef knot. Okay, thanks. It's the knot that my dad taught me to do to keep my swivels on my fishing line. And I figure if it can hold that, it can hold this. Although I had to do it like 4 times for that. This is only once. Queen border photos are in the fun zone. Excellent. Thank you, John. And John also measured his toilet water for us. Thank you, John. 10 centimeters from the top. Oh my gosh. Wow is all I can say. That's like, how do you know? I mean, I've got so many questions that are just so inappropriate. Chantelle missed it. What did I miss? Beck does the same one. Cool. I'm glad I'm not alone. It's just, I don't even think about it. It's just, is it holding? Good choice. The reef knot will hold better. Oh, thanks. Oh, no, 10 centimeters deep from the bottom. Oh, okay. All right, that's lower than I thought. See, now I'm like, do I have something? I've got a metal ruler. I can go and use that in the toilet. I will measure mine. We're nearly halfway through double checking the knots. So that's something. Oh, Vampire gifted memberships. Oh, I can't see any of that because I'm not in YouTube. Oh my gosh. Hang on. I'm going to open it back up. We might lose a camera. So we'll see. Vampire, thank you. That is amazing. It's just going to take a little second. Wow. So I'm in StreamYard. The software doesn't bring in any of that stuff. Oh my gosh, I want to celebrate this. This is why I normally leave the chat open. I wonder if I can just pop the chat out and that will use less. Okay. I did miss that. Thank you so much for pointing it out. Who are our guest memberships? Vampire, thank you so much for sharing that with everybody. I'm just checking to see. Let's have a look here. Our guest memberships. Artsog, that's funny. Artsog was gifted a membership from Vampire, and Talia was gifted, and Jennifer Baker was gifted, and Knitspin Girls, and Teresa. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships. That is amazing. And while I'm just going to pop this chat out and see if I can't close down the back window. Pop out the chat. Because we're just pumping through the resources. So there we go. Move that over there. That's what I should have done before when I shut it all down. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll as well. So 58% have said the purple front and the rainbow back, and 41% said all purple. I mean, that's pretty close to half and half. But yeah, I think we will try for the rainbow back and the plain purple front. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. There's lots of dust coming off this blanket at the moment because I'm maneuvering through so much of it at once. Okay. Yeah, Beck Nick, I agree with you. Like, that seems very splashy. And yeah. Thank you, Game Widows. Yeah, I want to use up my leftover colors. Like, I've got this whole box. I'll pop a photo of it in the fun zone. But I've been keeping everything in its own separate little crate. And it's just this mishmash. They all need to be ball wound for a start. It's definitely hopefully a good way to use up some of those, which would be gravy. Did I miss one? Because it changed from purple on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Oh, John says his has the rainbow at the back and the solid at the front as well. Have you got a photo of both sides of the border in there? Like, when I go in and have a look, will I be able to look at both? That'd be cool. And now the other question for those of you that have made queens before, do you really need the 2 rows of slip stitching, or can I get away with just doing it on the front and working into the back first? Oh, excellent. You've got photos. Cool, cool. Alrighty. We're nearly at the halfway mark. Wow, this feels so weird. And then the next task is I'll get the stitch markers out because Jackie reminded me of that and I'll probably forget. And then I'll go in and start trimming all these sides down. Wow. Because it only needs to be a few centimeters. I did pass the halfway mark, but I'm talking about for the little side knots. I did 1 round of slip stitch. Working to the back was a pain. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those comments. Did you work into the back first or into the front first? Because that's the other thing I'm seeing is like remembering to do the back first because the front will be easier to work into. Oh, Kathy did hers the other way around. She did her rainbow on the front, did stripes on the front, and then the purple on the back. Yeah, this is a Brava worsted weight yarn, Knit Picks Brava, which I just love. I love this yarn. I've actually got another project that like this, finishing this project off, well, not quite finishing it, but getting this section done of this project has made me want to dig out one that's been in the naughty corner for quite a few years, because it's also a Nitpicks Brava project. But I'll get this one done first and then I'll decide. Because what it was is I loved all the big motifs, but when I started working all the small joining motifs, I hated them. They were annoying. And so it went into the naughty corner. Well, actually, it just got folded back into its box. Oh, people that haven't watched the live stream, Jackie, are going to be like, what on earth happened in the live stream today that this is a conversation? I forgot how I did mine. I think I did a round of single crochet on the front. Okay. Yeah, look, do you know what, Maru? I'm actually not a fan of Red Heart. Like, I know a lot of people love Red Heart. I think John's a big Red Heart fan, but I'm just not the biggest fan of Red Heart. I like a softer yarn. I'm big old softy and I need the softer yarn. Yeah, so I think, Kathy, I'm actually just going to try and do the one round. I know that with my sample, I did the one round and I didn't have a problem really. So I thought maybe I was doing it wrong because so many other people had a problem. So yeah. Okay, we're coming up to the middle yellow. John says Red Heart's softer after a couple of runs through the washer dryer. Okay. Now, admittedly, the only time I used Red Heart was about 10 years ago. I did not like that Red Heart. I have not tried any of their new current stuff. But I like this because I think this is cheap, especially if you can get the big 500 gram balls. If you need like 5 balls of something and it happens to have it in the bulk color, that worked out so much better value. Nat says we don't have a dryer, we use a sun. I use a dryer on my blankets. I don't want them hanging on the line, getting all stretched out, especially considering I can't run a blanket this size through my spinner. It'll have to go out, washing machine spun out wet, which would drag it because it's so big. Because this uses, so far I've used 13 by 2, so 2.6 kilos plus, I've used 4.6 kilos of yarn. No, 4.1 kilos of yarn so far. Once I've used up all the purple, it's 4.6. Game Widow says my dry died, saving for a new one. Oh, we went past the halfway mark. There we go. I was going to be like, yay, we're going past it. But no, we just worked straight past it. I'll do ombre, but I'm Red Heart ombre, but I'm trying different brands. Fair enough. I reckon everyone needs to try all the brands because we all like different things. And what I don't like, you might love. And that's why all these different brands exist. You got to try it for yourself. Red Heart does wear like iron. I have a blanket from 20 years ago. It's Red Heart and finally softer, but still going strong. That says we got rid of the dry ones for out of nappies. It's also leaving black marks and everything. Oh yeah, if it's dodging, if it's wrecking your stuff, it's got to go. But we have days here where it's hot and sunny, but it's so humid the washing doesn't actually dry. So we have the dryer for when it's raining for weeks on end because we don't have anywhere undercover to hang washing. It has to be hung in the house otherwise, and I don't like that. I think everything gets musty smelling. So, yeah. Hey, Amelia, great job. Agree, try different things. Crochet with Claire is now at 2,800. Oh, excellent. Thank you. I don't know what to call it, but the small strand that just kind of puffs out. I don't know what that is. Oh, sorry. I'll put my hands back under the camera. You guys have got to tell me when I do that because I'm on a roll now. I'm like just knotting. My lounge is a Chinese laundry, getting sick on the constant rain, so dryer is yeah. John says skip the slip stitching and surface crochet around the posts front and back. Really? I'll have to have a look. Because I did like before I started this project, because this was my first mosaic project, I did do the test piece and I did all the stuff. I had no problems with it. That's why I thought that maybe I was doing it wrong. I mean, it looked right, but John says I used the white for the first round so I could see the stitches. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that she was definitely saying is make sure you're using a color. I'll probably use the yellow if I'm going to, like one of the yellows, maybe the middle yellow, and create like a yellow line. Because then it's different to because I was going to slip stitch it in purple, but I think that if I slip stitch it in purple, it'll be too hard to see what I need to see. I mean, it'll be harder over the yellow section, but at least it's one section rather than the entire blanket. Knit Picks affiliate link. Thank you, Jackie Doyle. Appreciate you throwing that in there. If you go and check out Knit Picks and see if they've got, I think they've got sales on at the moment, and you buy anything, I will get a commission, but it's at no additional cost to you. Knit Picks pay that to me. Your yarn will still be whatever the price was that you chose. Lisby says use a larger hook. I'm not going to use a larger hook just because I always end up with saggy, because I'm already using quite a large hook. So I end up with saggy stitches. So we'll see. I'll probably scream at it or something. You guys will hear me from wherever you are. You'll be like, yep, she's complaining about something. Molly says I have a great spin dry. Yeah, I've got a Kohinoor, which is a spinner. That I used when I was dyeing yarn. It makes everything nearly touch dry. Like it still needs time to dry, but it dries really fast. But this won't fit in it. It's just too big. Like it could take the weight, but it can't take the bulk of the size. Nettie, welcome to the chat. I finished the blanket. Well, I finished the crocheting the mosaic part. You forgot it was Thursday. Do you know what? On Tuesday, I was thinking, oh, Friday. I love Fridays. And it was not Friday. Oh, Arthur, you've got to be careful talking like that. Goodness me. Now we're just knotting off all the edges. And then we'll take out the stitch markers. And then that will probably be it for today. Oh, thank you, Nat. Oh, are they back out again? There we go. So next week as a finished party. I don't know about that. I mean, I'd love to say yes, but I have no idea how long the border's going to take. So, I'll get a feel for that throughout the week. I don't need to knot the other side as well, no, because it does a proper finish off, like a bind off knot. So it's only the starting side that needs it done. So yeah, we're nearly done. But then we will need to go in and trim both sides to trim them down to, fit inside the casing. Will we have a live stream next week? We should do. I can't see why we wouldn't. Yeah, I think we'll have a live stream. Be relaxing. It'll be a relaxing live stream before the whole, Big Wool show. Because Big Wool show is like speed guests. It's like 15 minutes sounds like a long time with people, but when you do a giveaway that takes a couple of minutes and normally it's a little bit of like double checking that everyone can see and hear. And I have done C2C, but I haven't done as a GraphGAN. Leanne has. Leanne's like queen of the GraphGANs. Francis says, I like buying yarn from Spotlight. From Bendigo or Nundle. Spotlight just doesn't do it for me. Nettie, no, we don't sew in any of these ends. We're doing the enclosed casing. So none of the ends get woven in. They just get knotted off, trimmed down, and then we make a double-sided crochet enclosed border. John says, I love C2Cs, but I've never done. Yeah, me too. I love C2Cs as well. Leanne says, I've retired from C2C graphing. That's it. Last knot done. I know you guys would understand, but like for me, it's not about resting up. Sometimes it helps me to get in the frame of mind for it. And I love this time. Wow, that was actually really cold and actually really delicious cold. I think I might have to make up some of this batch and let it chill. So basically I've made my T2 licorice legs, but then I put in a good whap of honey because my throat's been playing up a little bit since last week. And so with it's like it's okay. So let's go through. We've still got 5 minutes. We'll go through and retrieve all the stitch markers. I built up for the big day, absolutely. And also it's like this is on my channel, that's on their channel. It's a bit different, like it's a different atmosphere. Like for me, I mean, I try to be me. I try to just be me. I mean, but there's always differences when you're just hosting for somebody else than if you're doing it for yourself. I need a cute little lidded container for all my stitch markers. Ugh. Oops, my hooks are poking out. Get back in there, you terrorists. Okay. Oh, I don't have your little baggie. I'm just going to throw you in. In you go. I'll regret that later. There you go. Alrighty, so stitch markers. So we've got to trim all these down on both sides down to being the sort of 3 centimeters. We're yeah, that's right. I won't tie knots on the other side because when you start the yarn, it's a bit more live than when you finish it, because that's a finished off. It's already like you did the chain and pulled the loop through. That's already a finished off end. But when you start, it's not the same. I know this seems really like it's going to seem very over the top, but I would like to measure 3 centimeters onto a piece of paper or card. And so I can just run along and just chip. I know how it sounds. I get it, but I'm still doing it. If I can find my ruler. There it is. Shh. I'm feeling your judgment. I'm just it's just so I have a guide, okay? Because, everyone's like, oh, it doesn't have to be exact. But I'm very bad at guessing. So if I want it to be even close, I need help. I just need help. I wonder, I've just had this thought, like I've just gone and made this thing, right? Get out of the way, blanket. You're right in the way. I'm like, oh yeah, I've made this 3 centimeters wide. My ruler is just about 3 centimeters wide. So if I just do this, I'm like looking at this, like, what if I just do this on one of those rolling cutter mats and just go hard? This feels so naughty. This feels so naughty. I'm just going to cut the ends off. I've tied knots and now I'm going to cut it down. It feels like all the bad. And I am cutting just off the edge of it just because my ruler is not quite 3 centimeters wide. It feels so wrong. But I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, Leanne, I've got to do the other side, so I might do a rotary cutter for the other side. Because we're nearly out of time. I'll finish cutting this side because we're nearly halfway done. Oops. Now I've got like 11 billion ends. I do have rulers and rotary cutters, and I'm totally going to do the other side that way for sure. But I'm just going to continue on this side this way. Put your ends in the clear baubles for Christmas. I mean, I'm going to need like some baubles here because we're halfway through and we have quite a pile. You think that watching someone make knots and cut yarn would be like watching the grass grow, but nope, it's mesmerizing. Well, I'm kind of glad it's not like watching grass grow. I would be disappointed. It's like, oh yeah, let's go to the Fiberific channel where it's as enjoyable as watching grass grow. It's because this is like one of those things where I think it's part of it is because it's like everything in the land of making blankets and stuff, this is wrong. This is like, this to me feels like the equivalent of if I had done it, which I haven't, but like steeking. Like you've got to cut through stuff that you would normally not cut through. Like I'm glad I'm not weaving in all these ends because this is a lot of ends. But at the same time, it feels wrong that I'm not weaving in all the ends. So you guys right to hang out for a couple more minutes while I just finish off this side? I'd love it if you could. They were like, nope, I'm out. Everyone runs away from the chat. I 3D printed a lid for a jar with a post in the center to run the Wi-Fi. Oh, nice. It's quite stuffy in here because I've got the door closed because Abby was still running around when we first started. And now I've got the blanket on my lap as well. And I'm like, getting toasty. Getting toasty. Oh, we're nearly at the end. Gosh, we got a lot more done in this session than I thought we would. Honestly, we finished. I knew we'd finish off the crochet of the mosaic part because I'd worked that bit out. But I didn't think we'd get all the knotting done, let alone knotting and trimming on one side. Game Widow says she uses the ends. Yeah, Josie, we're just about to finish. I'm just doing this final section here. Oh, and those of you that do watch the replays and that are wondering what happens, like you come in and there's no chat, YouTube doesn't have the chat going while they're processing. And so if you just wait a little bit, like it could be up to 12 hours, but the chat will be back. All right, we did it. Oh my God. We have, like, I will measure out the length of the blanket, but it's double my height easily. So it's got to be 3 meters, 2.5 to 3 meters tall. Gosh. Leanne says we need a really long and cold winter for next year just so I can snuggle under the blanket. Yes. Yes. Oh, flip it over. Snuggles. Oh. Yeah. This is, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out and just, it's been like, I know the blanket's not done, but this has just felt like such the most ridiculously long project for me. I don't think I've ever done anything that's taken me this long before. I would well and truly have given up. And you guys like supporting through it all, and Melissa, who's not in the chat today, but her as well, just being really encouraging. And it is so close. So close. Leanne says, do you think you'll put it in a show? No, I don't enter shows. I've never entered a show. But yeah, so with Melissa's encouragement and all of you as well here in the live streams, just like getting all the mosaic crochet part of it done is just feels like, huh. And and this is one half of the ends because the other side still has to be done yet. So there's going to be a lot of ends, and I'm so glad I don't have to weave any of them in. I will have ends to weave in. I've got a few ends where I had to join yarn in the middle of rows, so I'll go through and get those done as well. But yes, I am so happy. I'm so happy it's all coming along. But I will get some once it's all finished and all done and dusted and washed and everything, I'll get some photos. So yeah. Lisby, right? But you were making a little queen. Like I made a big queen, but I've still enjoyed it. Like I struggled to get through the yellow section. I really did. Because it's just not a color I like to work with. But once I got past it and into the colors that I liked, I really powered. Do we get to see crochet the edge? Probably. I'll probably be working on that next week. I'm going to get it started. I probably won't do the crocheting into the slip stitch edge on camera because that way I can swear. But then I will definitely be doing part of it on camera. There's no way I'll be finished in a week, not with all the other work I've got going on at the moment. Also, I just want to say, those of you that have gone over and hit the Fiberific 20% off everything sale, I've added in some extra things that are now reduced as well. So if you want to go and check those out, we're slowly going to be adding in pretty well everything except for Margicraft. And I had a problem yesterday with the code not working, so I had to go and recreate the code. So I've done it a different way so that it's easier to add more stuff. So yeah. Melissa asked me to let you know here that she's proud of your finish. Oh, that's awesome. I was going to send Melissa a photo too, just show where I'm up to. So, and Freaky, like seriously, like I don't expect you to shop. You're in another country. Like it's good value if you're in Australia. It's maybe not so much good value outside of Australia. Do you have any more stitch markers? I did put in more of the stitch markers yesterday. So go and have a look, go and check it out. I don't know exactly which stock's available. I haven't checked any orders overnight. So Bianca says, send out another newsletter with your additional items. That's an excellent idea, Bianca. And tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow I'll have time to write up a new newsletter. So I'll also go through the website and double check that I've added more things in. John says mine was twin bed sized, still took me a year and weighs something like 8 kilos. This is a queen bed size, so it's 2.2 meters wide. I've no idea how long. It's longer than me standing up with my hands over my head. It's longer than that. So that was before I started like 3 colors ago. So we'll see. But anyway, I will see those of you that are local. It's Caffeinated Crafters tonight. Don't forget. And I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.